Now, someday we should probably take turns annexing each other. Probably you should annex me first, and then later I can, once re-released, annex you. And someday, that way, you can get the subterranean origin, which will allow you to have uncapped mining districts, and that'll really help forge worlds like that. Because if your founder species has a subterranean trait, you get the subterranean origin. Whereas Remnants is just it provides very few permanent bonuses. The only real one it does is with the Hidden Vault, you get a better outcome from one of the events. There's like a few events that have better outcomes if you have Remnants origin, but it's obviously you only experience those maybe once in the game and then they're gone. So, yeah, at some point, we may want to get you a better origin. There's either the subterranean one or there's necrophages in the galaxy if you'd really rather do that. But I was going to say at card XC though, since you don't have the minerals to currently build much here, and it doesn't have many pops, so it's not going to benefit much from luxury reasons, I would do Mastery of Nature here. Because it's slow, but you have tons of energy. You can get started on it now. And it'll give extra resource districts and stuff in the long run. And it will add a little bit to pop growth without any upkeep, because it'll add to the planet capacity. Plus 2 max districts means slightly higher planet capacity too. So. And then eventually you'll be able to clear the blockers there. Clearing blockers actually adds as well to population growth. If you look at the management tab on card XE, and then look at the blockers, yeah, like if you clear those jungles, the mountains, it'll add a little pop growth as well. Master Nature's will add the same to pop growth as clearing the mountains would. Because planet capacity is it's housing plus a certain amount for every undeveloped district slot. So I think you get 800 more planet capacity from Master of Nature or from clearing the mountains. Because it's 400 for normal worlds. If it was a Gaia world, it'd be 1200 instead of 8. I forget. Remnants worlds, I think, are 400 as well. Tomb worlds are 3. Habitats are 3. I think they're 3. Anyways.
Are urban expansions good?
Not generally, if always, but they can have a few niche uses. One, if you've got a ton of planets and you can't possibly work all the jobs that the specializations give, they can let you get some housing with when you have 2 specialties where you have one that provides jobs and just urban expansion for some housing without any added upkeep, obviously. And 2, they're flexible, so like I might put in my single player game, I'm gonna have a world that's got 1 energy support district, 1 generator support district, and 1 urban. And the urban one has build slots unlike the generator support, and it's gonna probably have some hydroponic farms in it, so that when I release the planet as a vassal, there'll be useful jobs there. The world I release will be able to provide some of its own food and then have an export both food and energy, and I'll trade for those and give it minerals and manufacture goods. The support districts are surprisingly good for worlds that specialize obviously in that resource.
Yeah.
Because it's the thing is, alright, like at this world, if it was farming support, that's 20% farmer output per specialization in farming support per city. So if you had 2 of these, it'd be 40%. If with just the 1 city, it'd be 80% with 2 cities. You get the idea.
Right. So you're doubling your farmer output if you have 5 city districts.
Or if you triple doubling the base output. Remember, there's other additive modifiers.
Right.
In fact, it's quite common you're already doubling the base, so it's more like a 50%. 5 cities might give a 50% increase in real farming output. But
yeah, okay.
You're still getting farming output from cities which have more housing than ag districts. So
Yeah.
you're getting pop efficiency, you're also getting pop growth versus spamming a bunch of ag districts that actually reduce pop growth. So it's got its uses for sure. And in a world that's just, you're not, like, most of the urban specializations that add jobs, you probably instead want to concentrate all those specialists in like a few really highly developed planets, not have like randomly have like 200 soldiers or whatever just on this random rural world. It doesn't make a ton of sense. Well, soldiers are actually one of the ones that you might put on a rural world, but you wouldn't want engineers just sitting on a world that's almost entirely farms, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to stack like all the buildings that reduce researcher upkeep, that improve job efficiency, the buildings that add to base output. Like, you want all these things that are multipliers, and it doesn't make sense if you only have a tiny number of researchers. So
Would you want to double up with 2 farming support districts?
yeah, if you're running the world directly, maybe, and you didn't have a lot of space for farms or something, but I'm a big fan of releasing worlds eventually. Sorry, what?
Or would that just be too much straight upkeep?
It depends on where you are in your growth curve. I mean, and you know, how you're getting towards running out of. Are you limited in pops? Or are you limited in district space, kind of thing? Eventually, you're gonna be more limited for housing district space, and you may actually want urban districts because they can support hydroponic farms, and you can actually have more jobs that way. And you eventually get repeatables that buff farmer output, which makes the farming support less and less worthwhile, relatively speaking. So the idea that there's a one-size-fits-all is nonsense. You have to make the decision based on where you currently are in your situation, and plan that some worlds are going to have to be redeveloped as your situation changes. Like, trying to develop a world once and ignore it forever is stupid. Although you can plan based on future changes and do something that's suboptimal now but will be optimal later if by the time it's developed it won't have long to benefit from the current situation, kind of thing, you know? Anyway, it's been talking way too long. 23 minutes, but, diplomacy, though, if you pop over to that. Contacts.
Oh.
Below fleet management. Still not many real empires, but you're trading with, who is it, the Hive, and you haven't even started trading with the
One?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I believe it's this one that I'm trading with.
Yeah. Well, then you can see the little 2 arrows. You don't have to.
Oh. Right.
Didn't you notice that?
No,
Trade deals
I didn't
with.
before.
You can hover over it. You can see the terms of each of your trade deals over on the left side below patronizing, dormant, unavailable, and then.
Okay.
Well, spent way too much time in this game that I've got all this memorized. But yeah, you can see what past deals, which can give you a reference for what you can probably get in future deals to some degree.
Okay.
And also know what kind of resources you don't want to, like, if you don't have enough at the end of the month, you'll default on deals and they'll hate you, and that's bad. But yeah, you probably sign another deal with that high shattered food for alloys, maybe? Energy? Both? I don't know. Oh, here's something you can do. Joe.
Yeah.
Food for, I was gonna say, food for energy because, no, you'll rebuild that very quick, but you might do a one-off deal, food for energy because, if you get over 5,000, your pacifists will be happier. Oh, they don't value it that much. You're gonna have a, oh, you can still get a really good trade.
Should I keep some of my food?
Yeah, I would. You need to keep enough to make the deals, but you know, you might trade away. Shift click it and control click, do larger or smaller, do increments of shift is 100, control is 10, and shift control is 1,000. So you don't need to. Yeah, you'll have to fall in your deals because some of them are as big as 75 a month, so you can't trade away that much food. The most I would probably do is like 500 something. Figure out when it goes to -1. You might be able to control up until you get to -1, then go down a little until. So you have to give them 564 food to get to that threshold, and you don't need as much energy, and you don't have to just take energy from if they can give you some minerals because you're short on construction materials right now. You only really need like 800 energy to get over 5,000, and you have a fine surplus after that. In fact, you might even do like 700, so you're not getting way too much energy. You don't have to do even amounts. I was gonna say, like, you could do whatever. There you go.
Yeah, I'll make sure I get as much as I
I'd
can.
probably get more minerals and less energy in that, just because you really are short on minerals, surprisingly, with all the construction. Anyways.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Super profitable deal. Really good deal. And that'll make your passives a little happier and give you minerals. Yep. Cool. Do you have any civilians in your capital right now, by the way?
Probably not. I shipped off. Yeah, I shipped them all off to the colonies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just got 300 pre-sapiens, which for whatever reason they're not all conserved fauna.
Yeah.
Some of them are in the zoos and some aren't, basically.
It's weird.
Well, I mean, it's actually a good thing because they're just giving them menus you don't need, and they have food upkeep when they're conserved.
Yeah. These ones are just out in the wild.
If anything, you'd rather have them all as the ones out in the wild. But anyways, because I think your many's happiness bonus is maxed at +20, is it? Yep.
Yeah.
So many's are useless to you. Do you have any more? So you're just wasting food on the pre-sapiens, actually.
Stop feeding them.
Unfortunately, given your people's dedication to the Genesis project, they're not gonna do that. Especially because they probably starved to death on a city planet like this. Well, a relic world.
Yeah, what are they even eating? Well,
Rats, maybe?
It's all ruined. There's probably like roots cracking through the concrete and
Yep,
stuff.
and rivers and rats, and I'm sure there's some stuff to eat. But not much.
There's a little bit of green.
Here and there.
It's kind of an ugly style of planet.
Yeah. It was once a city world that's been...
Yeah. It's a decayed ecumenopolis, so...
Yep. It's kind of like in the Foundation series. If you read that.
Yeah? No, I haven't.
Alright, well I've sat and stared at your screen too much. People on YouTube, it's
Right.
30 minutes of talking strat. Well, some people probably like, I'll break this as the strategy session video. In fact, since we're at 30 minutes right now, I'm just going to say, folks on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this little discussion of strategy. Next video, we'll just dive right into stuff. I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star till we do. Adieu.